Here's the thing, though. To be fair, I wasn't subscribing to that. In fact, I didn't put much credence into that. I did hear fighters saying that, including Max himself, who said that when he saw him walk out, he seemed a little bit off. So these are fighters who are putting some stock into this.
I was off against Gaslam when I just got knocked out by Masvidal when I was fighting at Madison Square Garden.
We're in Vegas next, and the possibility of us coming back is very good, I would say. Highly likely.
A fight in the main stage or back here at the theater, most likely?
Main stage.
All right. Thank you so much, Dana.
Dana, in the front, Matt Tucker, Fight Hub TV. We saw Conor McGregor doing leg exercises the other day. Any idea what's going on with that knee?
I have no idea. Yeah. We had him on FaceTime tonight ringside, but, Conor McGregor's out for a year.
Illegal in it to saying he never took steroids. He's kind of talking out of both sides of his mouth. I don't know if you guys know what that means, but it means that a guy that talks a truth here in his mind and a truth there in his mind, but ultimately neither one of them are true. And even the conversation, this is not a conversation that John and I had.
Around the globe. So obviously they've got the boxing stable, which is pretty impressive. But now they are adding the MMA fighters as well. And there we go, 372 fighters, 78 countries. So quite a number of people coming over to this whole MVP MMA situation. Jed, first things first, I mean, we saw what happened with the Ronda Rousey Netflix card, and after that, it kind of went silent. So what was your first reaction, your immediate reaction, when you saw, all right, this is actually what the guys are working on behind the scenes? No one really knew that this is what they were going towards. And this was their idea of how they could really kickstart this MVP MMA thing.
My first reaction was, why? And I'm still not, like, I get it. They've given us sort of the pitch on their core concept here. But like when the MVP MMA event happened, somebody asked us on one of our shows, like, should they just like try and get in business with PFL? I was like, no. I'm not entirely sure what PFL offers them, right? Because the MVP sort of, and Nikisa Badarian's statements were like, hey, we're not trying to put on regular shows. We're trying to host specialty events. And obviously that's changed because if you have a roster of 300 fighters, you can't just have specialty events. You have to be a regular show promoter too. And so maybe they changed their opinion since then, and they were like, hey, you know what? We do still want to do these big one-off grandiose events, but it might behoove us to also sort of fill in other spaces as well as we try to build this combat sports portfolio. It obviously seems that way because outside of like that ambition, I don't really know what PFL's bringing.
They're expecting of the fight, how they think the fight's going to play out. And obviously we heard that with Ian Gary a couple weeks ago talking about he wanted a certain type of finish in a certain round. But now we're hearing the champion Islam Makhachev talking about Ian Gary and what he expects his plan to be. It's almost like Islam is challenging his ego. When you hear a guy like Gary speak about a specific round, finding happiness in that, not necessarily becoming the champion. Obviously, Ian Gary is going to be happy to become the UFC champion, but wanting to do it in a certain round, but then Islam saying he likes to run, almost challenging his ego.
And not only what they do good, what is threatening about them and where they're good, where they're bad, but also learning from them. After the second fight with Sean Strickland, after the first fight, I stole his jab. I 100% stole that jab from him, the way he throws it.
It was so effective.
And it was effective. I caught him. The first jab he threw, I patted and jabbed him straight. Gave him some of his own medicine because I learned from him because he's such an incredible fighter. Sean Strickland's a great fighter. And I learned from him. After I fought Izzy, I took from him. I steal from him. After I fought Whitaker, even though I knocked him out, I took from him because there was a few things he did that I was like, okay, that was really good. Israel Adesanya, he did this uppercut that I just in the fight couldn't figure out. Usually people catch me with something, I'm like, and I figure out, okay, I can't. He caught me maybe 3-4 times directly with the same movement, same uppercut right on the nose. And in the fight, it was hard on my nose. And I thought, I just got my nose fixed, you asshole. And I thought, if you broke my nose,